the city of Hue once again is alive. Business flourishes and people are active with continuing projects and future plans. Physically, Hue has almost completely recovered. Materially, all economic indices are up. But beneath this surface, one senses deep recesses in the mind of Hue that will never again know the sun. In a tone beyond bitterness, the people of the city of Hue will tell you that the world does not know what happened in Hue, or if it does not care. A communist force of 12,000 invaded Hue the night of the new moon, January 30, 1968. The attack came during the period of truce they expressly proposed and advocated. The general offensive against 120 urban centers in South Vietnam had begun. The imperial city of Hue, aristocratic center of Vietnam, was singled out for meticulous destruction. The invaders stayed for 24 days and then were driven out by military action. In the wake of this Tet Offensive, 5,800 Hue civilians were dead or missing. It is now known that most of them are dead. The bodies of most of the victims have been found in the past 20 months in single and mass graves all across Thừa Thiên province, which surrounds the imperial city. The story remains incomplete. If the estimates by Hue officials are even approximately correct, nearly 2,000 people are still missing. In the next few months following the Battle of Hue, almost 1,200 bodies were found in hastily dug, poorly concealed graves. At least half of these show clear evidence of atrocity killings. Hands wired behind backs, rags or dirt stuffed in mouths to stifle screams, bodies contorted but without wounds, indicating burial alive. The pattern here had been to tie the victims together in groups of 10 or 20, line them up in front of a trench dug by local corvée labor, and cut them down with machine guns. Frequently, The dead were buried in layers of 3 or 4. Between January and July 1969, 809 bodies were uncovered. This group of mass burial sites was located in rolling sand dune country near the South China Sea. One month later, in an area that is wild, unpopulated, and virtually inaccessible, a search party was sent to the Da Mai Creek, about 10 miles south of Hue. They reported that the stream contained a large number of human bones. The Da Mai Creek bed, for nearly 100 yards of the ravine, yielded skulls, skeletons, and pieces of human bones. At some point, the communists decided to eliminate witnesses. Here, the captives were shot or brained, and their bodies left to wash in the running stream. Obviously, it was intended that this brutality was never to be discovered. By piecing together bits of information, it has been determined that both captive and captor wandered the countryside on what became death marshes. "20 months in the running stream had left bones clean and white. The pain of loss is deepened at the torturous task of identification through a skull, a sandal, scraps of cloth, a rosary. In another desolate region, near the fishing village of Luang Viên, people who had remained silent in the presence of troops for 20 months apparently felt secure enough from communist revenge to break silence and lead officials to the 4th mass burial sites. Three years have slowly passed since the massacre at Hue in the Tet Offensive of 1968. 3 years of constant recoveries, identifications, funerals. No family remains untouched. Few civilian deaths were due to accident of battle. By admission, this was a planned attack, and the names of victims appeared on prepared list. Here, grief never heals. Mass burial finds prelude mass funerals, holding vividly in memory the terror of those 24 days in February 1968. Here, one is haunted by the feeling that bereavement is worse than death.